Om Shri Sairam. We will start today's session with three Omkars.
Sairam and a loving Sairam and a very blessed evening on this auspicious Sunday evening. It's first online Samarpan session we are having this evening in the new calendar year 2021. And there's no better than Dr. Mohan actually will be sharing his experiences and thoughts with us on this wonderful evening. In fact, it's also a very great day, important day for Sai fraternity, Sai family. This morning, as some of you or most of you would have seen, we had the Balvika's 11th alumni meet and also the 8th benediction ceremony, where across the world, the Sai Balvika's alumni and the current students, got chance to participate and see such powerful movement, Sathya Sai movement, actually getting silently transforming the world. It was such a momentous occasion that most of us felt that golden age is here and now, and we don't have to wait, because subtly there are lots and lots and lots of Sai students, Sai Balvika students, alumni are spread in the communities across the world. So on such a beautiful day and such a wonderful Sunday, it's fitting that we have this online Samarpan program. This is a 30th edition, but the first edition for this calendar year, this evening. So let me have this rare privilege to introduce Padma Shri Dr. V Mohan. Dr. V Mohan ascribes all his success to Bhagawan's grace and blessings and considers his position given by Bhagawan as the member of the board of trustees of Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust Prashanti Nilayam as the greatest honors he has ever received. His book, Sathya Sai Baba Lives On, is extremely popular among Sai devotees. In fact, today's topic is also the same. Sathya Sai Baba lives on. So it will be very exciting to know the wonderful experiences of Bhagawan and Bhagawan's mission continuing today and his presence being felt even today. Dr. Mohan is a student of Madras Medical College. Dr. Mohan was awarded the gold medal in the University of Madras in MD for general medicine. He is currently the chairman and chief of diabetology at Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialties Center at Chennai in South India, which is an IDF center of excellence in diabetes care. Dr. Mohan oversees the largest chain of diabetes centers in the world, that is over 50 branches across 8 states of India, and has over 5 lakh or 500,000 registered diabetes patients in his centers. Mammoth impact. He's also the president and director of Madras Diabetes Research Foundation, which is Asia's largest standalone diabetes research center today. He has published over 1,325 research papers in peer-reviewed journals, which is a world record by a practicing doctor anywhere in the world. Dr. Mohan has trained over 12,000 physicians and 500 diabetologists in addition to nurses, educators, and technicians. Dr. Mohan has received over 180 awards, including the prestigious Dr. B.C. Roy National Award by the Medical Council of India and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Centenary Award from the Indian Council of Medical Research. This is the highest award for biomedical research in India. He has also received Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Dhanvantari Award from Shri Sathya Sai Seva Organizations India. In 2018, Dr. Mohan was conferred the Dr. Harold Rifkin Distinguished International Services in the Cause of Diabetes as an award by the American Diabetes Association, and he is the first Indian to receive this award. Dr. Mohan is one of the few medical doctors in India to have been awarded the FRS from the Royal Society of Edinburgh. Apart from this, Dr. Mohan also provides lifelong free treatment to thousands of poor patients through the free diabetic clinics established by him and has conducted over 3,000 free diabetes camps, including several along with the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations and the trusts. For his extensive contribution in the field of diabetes, the Government of India presented Dr. Mohan with the Padma Shri, which is one of the highest Indian civilian honors. It is a rare privilege for all of us to have Dr. Mohan today, sharing his wonderful experiences and taking us through the journey where Sathya Sai Baba lives on. Sai Ram. Over to you, Dr. Mohan.
Om Sri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble, loving, and reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet of our Lord and Master, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, but for whom none of us needs to be here at all. If you are having, whether you call it Samarpan or Satsang or whatever, we are all united in one name, and that name is that of our Lord and Master. So that Lord and Master has given us a purpose in life. And one of that purpose is to meet frequently, to sing his glory, and to talk about him. And today happens to be one more such small uh, opportunity given to us by Bhagawan. So let us start by thanking him for that. Respected elders, respected Sri Nimish Pandya, the president of the All India president of Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization India, Sri Anup Saxena, state president of Mumbai, Sri Siddharth Bhatt, who kindly invited me here, and I admire his persistence because he always persuades me to come. It's not the first time, and I'll talk about it later. Many others whose names I picked up here: Jayashankar, Abhinav, other office bearers, alumni, importantly, and of course, my dear Sai brothers and sisters from different regions. I understand it's not just from Mumbai metro region, but being an online session, it gives an opportunity for many others to tune in. And for this beautiful satsang, my most loving Sai Ram to all of you. Let me also take this opportunity, this being the first online session and Samarpan as well as satsang of this year, to wish you all a safe, happy, healthy, prosperous, and Sai-filled New Year. I'm sure that after all that we went through in 2020, things can only get better. I always say when you hit rock bottom, you can only look up, you cannot look down anymore. You already hit the rock bottom. So I think 2020 was a year when we all hit rock bottom. So from now on, I think we are going to see only progress. And of course, with Bhagawan Baba's grace, as always. Swami has said that whenever his glory is sung, whenever a group of people join together to sing his glory, to sing his praises, to talk about his leelas, he will establish himself there. Very difficult, in the post-Samadhi period, and that's why I'm going to talk about Sathya Sai Baba lives on. That recurring theme is going to come throughout my talk. But, people often think it's rhetoric, oh, Baba lives on, Swami is always there, but we can't see him, no? This is the whole problem. As human beings, whatever we say, ultimately we'll go back to that, but we can't see him, no? It's the whole problem, no? So that's the whole theme of what I'm going to say, that we need not see him. He sees us. So that's more important. It's not, we need not see him at all, last time I gave a satsang, I don't remember which one it is. I've been doing a series, the last few weeks, few months, I've been giving a series. It happened that day and it happened today also. Normally it's around this time, 6:37 in the evening. And so I go down to, light the lamp and then say a few small prayers. I pray about 5-6 times a day, actually. Then my formal, little more prayers will come. And today it has to be after this session. So last time also what happened, I was late. And so I came running here and, I was doing something else and I came running here. And I said, gosh, I haven't even lit the lamp, I'm going to go down. So I just told them, you just wait here. There's something going on, some bhajans. I said, no, it doesn't matter. 2 minutes, you carry on. I'll just catch up with you. I thought that part of the sadhana we should not, forget. And that's one of the lessons I want to tell you, that whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, maybe samarpan, maybe anything, but your personal sadhana, you should never forget, whatever it is. That's very important. Oh, today I'm giving this, so therefore my personal sadhana. No, that is equally important, if not more important. So like that day, I went today also, and you won't believe it, on both the days something happened. There's a nice chair like this of Swami's, and it's a beautiful one. And there's a small statue of Swami also sitting there. And every morning we keep not one but many flowers all around the puja room. It is there. In fact, the photo of my puja room is there in my book. So we keep this, one particular one we like a lot, because that's from where he throws the flower. So we keep that there. And you won't believe it, on every important occasion, he throws a flower. And today when I went down there, we prayed in the morning, and then the puja room is closed, and now we're just going and opening it now. And even the light is not put on. I have to put on the light and then light the lamp. By the time I saw, he had already thrown the flower. And it happened last time when I gave the satsang also. So how can you say that he is not there? That is my question. How can we even question that it is not there? Of course, if you're not a devotee, if you don't believe in it, you'll say, oh, it just fell. There's no breeze there for it to fall. So how can it fall just like that? But to devotees, you don't have to tell them. They will believe it anyway if you tell them. And there's no point in me coming and cooking it up and saying that, no, I'm very special, so Swami has blessed me there. It doesn't work that way. Swami has to do it. And there's no point in my lying also. Then it's not a satsang anymore. If I start lying from the whole thing, the first prayer I just now prayed to him and came was, let me not say any untruth. Whatever I'm saying, you are saying, you are only speaking through me. That is a, prayer I did to him before I came here. So it has happened. So it happens again and again. And that is the proof that Sathya Sai Baba lives on, So we have not seen him. I'm not saying I've shook hands with him, had a cup of coffee with him. I didn't do that. But he has seen me, and he knows why I have come there, and he has already given his blessing. Okay. So that is the point that I wanted to talk about, that even today he has blessed this, and therefore he will always be there. That is one point which we have to always remember. Now, I have two challenges today. In coming for this Samarpan, I have two serious challenges. The first one is, who am I talking to? I am talking to the Sri Sathya Sai alumni. Now, I feel very, very small, very humbled when I talk to the alumni. Here are a group of people who have been nurtured by Swami, who have been at Swami's feet for years together. Okay. If I count all the number of times I've seen Swami and number of times I've gone there, it will not even equal one semester of yours, And here you are, you have spent and not only that, every minute of the day you're talking about Swami. You're immersed in Swami. You're drowned in Swami. You eat Swami, drink Swami, sleep Swami. Everything you're saturated with Swami, That is Swami's student. Whenever he is asked, Swami is asked, who's your most, favorite people? He says, my students only. He doesn't say my devotees first. He says my students, And to them, to come and to talk to them about Swami is a big challenge. I'm sure you'll accept. I have not been his alumni at all, at any time. I've never been in the ranks. I never was a Sevadal, although we all are in one way, as I'm sure our All India President will say himself as a scarf, and he says I'm a humble Sevadal. No, but that apart, I've not formally been there at all. So to come and talk to you all, what will I talk about Swami, is it? What am I going to talk about Swami that you don't know? You will teach me a million things more than I ever know, the kind of experiences that you had. So that's the first challenge. If I ever try to do that, it will be definitely carrying coal to Newcastle. So I won't even attempt that. So that route we will forget about. Okay. The second one is to talk in front of, Nimish Bhai. Here is a, orator par excellence, who just gets onto the mic, and then, the whole world is there, wrapped in attention, listening to him. Now to talk in front of him, you can imagine what a challenge it will be for lesser mortals like us. So that is another challenge which, I must admit. So even notwithstanding those two challenges, I've still come. That's why Swami's special blessing is needed before you undertake a task like that, a daunting task like that. It's a secret why I go down and pray before I come. Now, what about Siddharth Bhatt? And I said I'll mention that. And I also said this is not the first Samarpan that I am attending. 2 years ago, actually 3 years ago. If you want the precise date, it's on 22nd April 2018. I was there in Dharmashetra, not for the online one, but for the real Samarpan lecture, which I was invited to give. And it was a thrilling experience. I haven't forgotten that, nor have I forgotten the little gift that you gave me. The gift you gave me is a picture of Swami standing on in top of Dharmashetra, overlooking a lot of devotees standing below. It's a very special black and white picture which you gave me. So I immediately brought it and kept it in my bedroom. So I have a lot of pictures in my bedroom, but this one was added to that. And every single morning, 365 days, I pray to those pictures, because I do, that's one of my 5 to 6 times when I pray. And so my morning prayer is there in my bedroom, not my puja room. And so after I come back from my walk, and so I do a few morning prayers and so on. And that particular picture I've been seeing every single day. And therefore I cannot forget. That's the only one Samarpan picture which I have in close proximity. Others I would have filed away somewhere. But this one is there. And therefore it's very special. And therefore to come back to now to give an online Samarpan to the same group 3 years, almost 3 years later, is a great privilege. And therefore, I would like to thank Swami for allowing us to get together and for permitting me to come for this particular session. So thank you, Swami, for that. And thank you, Siddharth, for that. So as Siddharth mentioned, today I'm going to focus on basically one thing, but then I'll divert a little bit here and there and go off on the tangent a little bit here and there. But the main thing I wanted to talk about is that Sathya Sai Baba lives on. I think that's the most important message for all of us. Very often I'm asked, why did you write the book, first of all? And secondly, why did you choose that title? Why did you write a title like Sathya Sai Baba lives on? Nobody has ever, even had the guts to write a title like that. And how did you, will not people challenge you or something? You write a gutsy title like that. How can you write that? Then it was pretty obvious why I wrote the book and why I gave it that particular title. It goes back to April 24, 2011 itself, when I was in Prashanthi Nilayam on that very painful day for all devotees. And subsequently also, as I used to travel all over the world, several times a year, except for COVID now, it's completely paralyzed all that. But otherwise, all over India and all over the world is to go. And one of the favorite questions I used to ask devotees when we meet them in private, of course, is that, when did you last go to Prashanthi Nilayam? And very often, Pat will come the reply saying, oh no, why should we go there now? Swami is not there, no? So why should we go there now? And I would be shocked beyond recognition, So why should you go to Shirdi then? Why should you go to Ayodhya? Why should you go to anywhere? Why should you go to Nazareth? Why should you go to Vatican? Why should you go anywhere, So, the question to me, it was a ridiculous answer, saying that because Swami is not there, therefore we are not going. And the second, even more painful one, was that there is a vacuum created. And so there's a big vacuum. So we don't feel like going there because that vacuum is too much. So I started analyzing, what is this vacuum that they are talking about? And I said, what is vacuum? I don't see any vacuum or anything like that. So then I kind of sat and analyzed it, and what they actually say, what they're talking about as a vacuum, is that the physical presence of Swami is not there. Okay, now let me give you an example. My grandson is writing an exam, or I've applied for something else, or something, and then I take this letter and I give it to Swami, and he takes it and he goes. And if he takes it, it is approved. If he doesn't take it, it's not approved. No, I can't do that. How can I do that? I can't give it to him in his hand now. Okay, physical padanamskar, touching the divine lotus feet, the actual feet, is something which all of us have done probably, and we know what it is. The electrifying sensation that we get when we touch the avatar is something that we probably cannot do. Okay, why, just even a smile, just one little smile, from one end of the Sai Kulwant hall, we'll be sitting in the last row somewhere, and from there one look like that, and oh, he has looked at her, he looked at me, definitely. He has, in fact. So that is the power of the avatar, that in one look he can cover a million people, which we look only, we'll see only one person. That is the difference between Swami and us. Now that look we are going to miss now, because it is not there. And also that smile, that mischievous smile sometimes, the pleasing smile sometimes, the soothing smile sometimes, the angry look sometimes, the all emotions of Swami we have seen in person. So we are missing that. So if you want to call that as a vacuum, you call it what you want, but it's a vacuum. But Swami has told us from the very beginning that that will not be there forever. It is only there, and you enjoy it while it's there. And however long he had lived, even if he lived for 150 years, even then after that, that form will not be there. So that is inevitability. Every avatar who has come has not been there in physical form throughout for thousands of years. No, although they are there in other form, but they are not there in the physical form. So if that is what you're calling as a vacuum, I also, if you ask me, don't you miss? Of course I miss. Of course I miss, because throughout my life I've been depending on that. Every decision in my life I've taken only after Swami has said yes. After I became his devotee, only after he says yes, I'll do anything. So I also got used to that. So how are we getting on after that? Well, there are other ways in which Swami will respond. And if you pray to him now, that is where Sathya Sai Baba lives on, becomes very important. And this is something which is worth openly discussing, because people say, when he's not there, how will I get it? So what do? They'll go to a medium who will talk and say, I'll talk to him and tell you 2 minutes. I'll just talk to him in 1 minute. What did he say? Swami said, we are very happy. Okay. It can be anybody, and there are not one, but there are many like that, saying, I have direct contact. I have online, direct hotline I have. I'll talk to him and then I'll tell you. And so we are ready for that. Or we switch. Now, this avatar is not there, we'll switch now. Quickly, we'll go to someone else now, whom we can go and ask for something else. That means all our life, we are not devoted to Swami at all. We are not even accepting him. What we are accepting Swami as is that diminutive figure of Swami as Sathya Sai Baba, and that's it, nothing more. I would say it's a disservice we are doing to Swami. Don't be very frank, we're doing disservice to him. We have now limited him to that one particular form. We have limited him to one photo. Now, suppose it was not Swami, but only one photo, and that photo broke, finished, over. Swami is over because the photo is gone, Now, that is a human limitation, I would say, but we have to evolve beyond that. What if Swami taught us for, for 50, 60 years that Swami has been teaching or more? What has he taught us? What are his books? People used to say, you want to have tea with Mahatma Gandhi? Okay, how will you have tea with Mahatma Gandhi? Take his autobiography and read it. It's like sitting there and talking to him. Many of the words there, his exact quotes are there. It's like sitting, have a cup of tea and sit there and read it. He's talking to you. Similarly, with Swami, anytime you want to connect, take one of his discourses and read it. Whatever you want is answered in that same page. It will be there. Open any page and your answer will be there immediately. All of us have felt it. So why didn't you do it now? If you have a problem, take one of his discourses random and open any page and your answer will be there, right there. Okay. Do you have belief in that? That's where I'm coming to. I'm bringing all this to say that he is far, far bigger than Sathya Sai Baba's physical form. Swami is not only Sathya Sai Baba. Sathya Sai Baba in his physical form is also Swami, but Swami is far, 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 far beyond that. Okay, it's beyond our imagination. He is not that small diminutive form that we are all used to. He is the microcosm and he is the macrocosm. He is veritably in every atom, in every cell, in every organelle, in every molecule, in every being, whether it is living or non-living, anywhere in this universe or in many other universes. Swami is there in every one of those. He is the unmeasurable ocean. He is also the small rivulet which runs by our house. He is the dense forest which we cannot even penetrate. And he is also the small plant in your house. Okay? He is a small flickering light which you see, and he is also the grandson. Both are Swami. Okay? He is the soothing touch of a gentle breeze. And he is also the gusty gale which overturns everything in its path. Both are Swami. One is an angry Swami. one is a quiet, loving Swami. But both are Swami. Okay? He is in short everything, and he is in short nothing. Nothing also is Swami. Everything also is Swami. Okay? Why everything is Swami? Because we are all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. He is that one. When it's added, the one which makes meaning to all those other numbers. All those zeros like us become heroes and all become big, big numbers. 10, 20, the 100, 1,000, million, billion, trillion, all. But that one, if you just remove that one, rest of it is all zero only. We have no value at all. So that one, that eternal one, that one which is in everything, that is Sathya Sai Baba, not this picture. So what has gone away? Nothing has gone away. From time immemorial, from the time the whole universe started, he is there and he continues to be there. Now and then he'll come, give one little small, 100 years or 90 years or something, he'll be there, give you a small darshan, and then he'll go away, gone off somewhere else. Now he has other work to do. He'll come back. At some point, he'll come back in some other form. Okay? If you choose to see him, he may be a neighbor who is there. He may be the man walking with you on the road. He may be Sathya Sai Baba. How do you know? He'll come in so many forms, so many disguises. It's like an actor who takes 10 different roles in a movie. He'll take 1,000,000 different roles. If we can't see him, if we can't identify him, that is our problem, not his problem. So that is the basis of Sathya Sai Baba lives on. He always lives on. He will always be there. There's no question of him going away anywhere. But we must have the strength to believe that. Our belief system must be strong enough. And for that, who will give that? Only he can give it. So if we keep praying again and again and again to him, then we will get it. So when he is in all of these, where is a vacuum? Why are you so despondent? Why are you not going to Puttaparthi saying that, I will not go there because he is not there and so on. He is there where you are there also, but he is there in Puttaparthi also. Then they'll say, that, okay, then when he's here, why should I go there? I'll give you a simple explanation for that. We have breeze everywhere, no? Then why this fan is going on behind me? There's no need, no, for fan. Breeze is there everywhere. Why are we using a fan? Why are we using an air conditioner and sitting under the fan to get the breeze? If you really believe that breeze is there everywhere, you go and stand somewhere where the breeze is not there. Why are you coming under the fan? Because it is concentrated there. Something is concentrated there. So you are getting a little bit more of that, and that is why you're going and standing under that. That is Prashanti Nilayam. That is Puttaparthi. He has lived there all his life. I'll come back to that. But will there not be more power there than in all our collective houses where he is there everywhere? That's why I compared the great and the small, the sublime and the ridiculous. I brought all that in to say that in both he is there. It depends on which you want. You want the sublime, you want the ridiculous. You can choose which you want. So that is something. But for that, we have to draw the line somewhere. Okay, now Samadhi is one line. You draw that, It's like a cricketer. He has hit his century now. Now he doesn't say, it's all over now, no? Now I can go home and rest. No, he draws a new line and says, next century now. I'm ready now for the next century. As if nothing has happened, So like that, if we are true devotees of Bhagawan, if you are truly his children, if you're truly his followers, if you're truly his ambassadors, we draw a new line and say, okay, up to that was, Swami and me, direct, contact. Now it's going to be a slightly different thing, but I'm drawing a new crease now. I'm starting a new innings now. And for that, Swami will still be with me. And that is my contribution. It's a test to me now. Now I have to pass that test now. Okay. And that is how we start the next phase of our life with renewed commitment, increased energy, increased vitality. And of course, all with the blessings of Swami. But there is a but here. And I don't mean B-H-A-T-T, I mean B-U-T. Okay. There is a but. Now that but is, for all this must have faith, Faith is the underpinning. It is a sheet anchor. Without that, all this becomes rhetoric and all this, oh, he said something, but I don't believe it, So if you don't believe in it, it's gone. So everything rests on that one little kingpin, and that kingpin is faith. And if you have that faith, then everything will follow. So for that, how do you develop that faith? That's why I started by saying that if there's a personal sadhana that you do. Now again, this is why I want to, I've said this before, and AAP also, Nimish Pandey also agreed with me when I said this last time. In our organization, we say, you must get up in the morning and you must say Ashtotram every day. In the evening, you must do this every day. You must say, Sai Gayatri 21 times. You must do this. Who cares? You want to do it 500 times, you do it. You want to do it once, you do it. What you believe in, you do. The organization should never come and say, you do this so many times, you do that so many times, you do this japa, you do this meditation, you do this, you do that. You keep on telling people to do this all the time, they'll not run away. After some time, there'll be nobody, especially the youth will not listen to you. They'll say, go to hell, and they'll go away, because they'll see so many irregularities in the organization. Then they'll say, because nobody's perfect. We are not Swami. We are running an organization. We are all human beings. We'll all make mistakes, hundreds of mistakes. Okay. Now we start, holier than thou attitude. We start putting down rules. This, not. I would say, what is your personal sadhana? What is that you believe in? Okay. Please continue it. Please increase it. Don't reduce it. Please keep on increasing it. But when we say, in addition to all the sadhana that you do, I don't know what you do, you continue to do it. But I have a little small suggestion. It's only a suggestion. I'm not saying you should do it every day. I have one small plea to all of you who are listening here. The whole screen is full. I can see a lot of people there. So to all of you, one small suggestion from me. Because I said everything depends on faith. If you don't have faith, then gone. There's no point in even talking. No point of samarpan, no point for anything. What if that faith starts getting eroded? It's a serious danger. We are in a world today where so many distractions, so many things. There is a great danger that faith might start getting eroded a little bit, just like, iron getting rusted a little bit here and there. Or if you go to Mahabalipuram, the stones getting a little, faded over time. Like that, our faith also, little bit, it can start getting eroded. That's enough. That's the end of us, So to prevent that, what can we do? First of all, of course, continue personal sadhana, increase all that. But I am adding one more prayer for you. If you think it is relevant, you can do that. And that prayer is, Swami, please, 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 Swami, increase my faith every day. I am not asking for too much. I am not being greedy. Okay. All I am asking you, Swami, is increase my faith by 1% every day. That's all. Nothing else I want. Every day, 1% more you give me. That you can do. You can definitely do. And I want that, Swami. 1% more faith in you every single day. Now imagine, Sai brothers and sisters, 1% added every day is 365% more at the end of 1 year. At the end of 3 years, it is 1000% more. That's the power of one. That's the power of one, which is trying to tell you. All those zeros with the one, that's the power of the one. That 1% increase, if you keep on praying to Swami, you'll definitely increase your faith by 1%. In 3 years, you got 1000% faith increased. Okay. And that will help you. That 1000% faith increase will take you through all the tribulations, through all the trials, through all the difficulties in life that you face, Because otherwise, what happens is everything will be going smoothly, and then somebody very close to us in the family dies, or something happens. COVID comes, something happens unexpectedly, and faith is gone. I prayed all these years, and this is what Swami did to me. Took away this person. We will never say that if our faith has increased 1000%. We will say, Swami, that is also for you. You gave that person to me in trust. Now it's over. You take that person. You want me also? Take me also. I'll also come with you. It'll be nice to come and, I want to come to you also. But whenever you call, I'll come. Okay, I'm not in a hurry. You call me whenever. But when you call me, I'm ready. I'm not going to delay, even ask you, no, give me 2 days more. I've got some work. No, I'm ready anytime. But give me the faith to accept all this. For that, we need that faith to get ingrained more and more and more. And I think that's the most important thing in this day and age. Because we have that, everything else will fall into place. And Swami, one more thing, never ever decrease my faith. 1% increase, yes, I want that. but never, 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 even 1/4%, I don't want to decrease my faith. And for that, again, I need you. Only if you give, your blessing is there, I can do that. Okay. Once, Professor Anil Kumar, I read this somewhere, was speaking in Prashant Nilayam, and he said, faith first and love next. He said, you have faith, love will follow. Okay. Swami corrected him and said, no, love first and faith will follow. So ultimately, what is the basis of faith? The basis of faith is love. If you love Swami, the faith will automatically come. If you don't have love for Swami, how will the faith come? So love is the basis on which faith is built. And so we have to keep on loving Swami more and more. And if you have to say 1% faith has to increase, 2% more Swami will have to love every day. 2% more, 2% more, 2%. So that will become 2000% more at the end of 3 years. Okay. In other words, we are always connected to Swami. We'll only do what Swami is telling us. We love Swami so much. We'll continue to love him more and more and more with every passing day. Okay. Our faith will keep on increasing every day. So he is living on. He's living on in your heart. He's living on through you. He's living on through me. He's living on through his devotees. He's living on through his students. He's living on through his mission. He's living on through his association, through his organization, through his trust, through everything he's living on. Whatever you see everywhere is due to Swami. And so he lives on through all that he has established, but which we are supposed to continue. That is a responsibility that we have, to continue all of that. And for that, again, we need to love Swami very deeply and to have intense faith. Otherwise, those also will not continue. You may say that's all fine. But now tell me, let's come down to practical aspects. Show us 1 or 2 things, always as human beings. Finally, at the end of the day, we will ask, like, the Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, is he in this pillar? Tell me. You keep on saying he's everywhere. I want to know if he's in this pillar. That doubt will always come for us also. In a minor way, we are all Hiranyakashipus only, so we'll all have the same doubt. Will he be here? Right now in the Satsang, will he be there? How? Will be inside the computer or outside the computer or in my house or his house, or he is sitting in Dharmashetra or where? Always there'll be that, doubting Thomas thing will keep on coming to us. That is human nature. The moment we say all that, then finally doubt will come. Again, doubt will come. So for that, he keeps on throwing his visiting cards. Here, take one more visiting card, one more visiting card, and now at least you will believe, I'm visiting card clearly, I'm writing Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and I'm giving you a visiting card, one more. Now at least you believe it's me. I'm giving you a visiting card itself, that's his miracles, isn't it? So those miracles, if I ask any of you here, if I just count the number of you here and say, tell me after Mahasamadhi, one miracle which happened. I don't think any of you will say, no, for me, no miracle happened. I don't think so. I think every day is a miracle. Some you may know, some you might, maybe bigger miracles, smaller miracles, some you would have realized a miracle, some you may not have realized a miracle, but miracles are always happening to all of us. I'll just give you one example. I've talked about patients and being cured and cancer and diabetes getting controlled and diabetic foot being this, that, umpteen times I've talked all that. So I'm not going to talk about all that. I'm going to talk about something which happened last week. Okay. And it happened in Sundaram. Now, after a long time, I went to Sundaram because of this COVID, and I'm 65 plus, and I've been mostly praying at home and, working from home, telemedicine from home. I've not been really going out much. So there was an important occasion, very, very important decision to be taken. And so my daughter and I, it was Thursday morning. So we said we'll go early before anybody comes and quickly pray and then go. We have to go and meet somebody. It's very important. And we said, without going to Sundaram, we cannot go. So we'll go to Sundaram, quickly pray, and we go early. People may not be. Once I go there, I'll get caught with somebody. And so I said, I'll go a little early, pray, and then go off. We went there, and just we finished, praying in the main hall, Sundaram, and then upstairs was all closed. And then, so we finished, and then Shirdi Baba thing is there. I just finished, and we're about to go, get into the car, when 2 people came running, one of them I knew, the other person I didn't know. And he said, you want to go up to Swami's room? So actually we're not planned because we thought we'll quickly finish and go. When somebody's asking you like that, then, you have to, of course, why wouldn't we go to Swami's room? So yeah, sure, we'll go. So he came, he went up and all. So there's a rule there that, the Swami's inner room, unlike I think Dharmashetra where you allow people for a long time to go there, in Sundaram, we've taken a decision that only very selectively and on select occasions we'll open the actual bedroom and all that. This is kept locked. So we went there. The guy, I mean, opened it and went, but the fellow who really opened it there, he doesn't know who I am because I have not seen him. He's a new Sevadal or somebody. So he went there, and the distinct thing given to him is that he should not open that, So we went there and I finished. Swami's chair was outside upstairs, just went and prayed there. And the next to that is a bedroom. So he said, shall I open the bedroom also? So I said, normally it's not open. No, sir. I think today is some special day for you. So Swami would like to see you. Nowadays, he knows it's a special day for me. I have not told anyone, So I said, okay, then we'll go in. And so we opened, went there, had darshan, then came out. Now I said, okay, now we'll go. We'll go, better go off now. So we came down, almost reached the car. When one fellow came running, and he said, upstairs, the Jula part, that is kept locked. Normally 10:30 only they come. But today that man came early. It was only 8:45, So today of all days he's come early. He's got the key. And so he was offering that if anybody wants to go now, I can open it. So I said, okay, let's go, go back. So again, we went back and he just opened that thing and he said, you can go up and you can pray and then come down. I said, yeah, we don't have much time. We'll just go up. We just went up to that Jula. I don't know, you've gone there to Sundaram and actually seen, it's a huge Jula, huge thing. And it's kept, the whole thing is blocked off because there is no wind or there is nothing because the tattis are there and it is kept completely going. There's no fan, nothing there in that Jula place. There's one lady who was standing at the end of the corridor. One lady, Sevadal, the lady was Smaila, was standing there. And so my daughter and I just went there. And this incident is described in my book, how twice on 2 occasions, the Jula started moving. I have not seen it move in Sundaram. I've seen it in Kodaikanal. I've seen it in Ooty, and that is described in my book. Also, it's mentioned how, what the incident, why the Jula moved, and my daughter went. Is there in my book. So I went there with my daughter, and so she's standing, the Sevadal standing at the end, and both of us. That man just opened. He didn't even come up. We went there, and then the Jula was like moving like this, And she didn't notice. She had her eyes closed and she was not, open her eyes. So I said, Anju, is this what you meant by Jula moving? She opened and said, Papa, I didn't notice, because the Jula is moving. So Jula is just moving like this, like that is moving. So I took out my camera and I started, just taking the picture. And the lady came running, sir, you're not supposed to take a picture, sir, of this. I know you're a high up in the organization, you're a central trust member, but the rule is a rule, sir. You should not take it. I said, yes, a rule is a rule, but a miracle has to be documented. I cannot take it afterward and say it actually moved, but I didn't take it, So now it's a miracle, Then she said, sir, in that case, you should not share it with, you should not show that picture to anyone. You shouldn't send the video out. I said, okay. If you say I should not send it out, I'll send it, but I have to document it. If tomorrow somebody asks me, as a scientist, somebody asks me, show me proof. I'll say, here it is. Here is the proof. I'm standing next to it. I'm not pushing it. I'm not doing it. But the Jula moved. The Jula kept moving. And so when you went down, I asked that lady also, how many times have you seen the Jula move? She said, I haven't seen it. I said, it's the first time? She said, yes, it's the first time. So I said, something special, isn't it? If suddenly the Jula starts moving, Swami is giving some message, something, isn't it? She said, yes, sir, something. I said, yeah. So that's his omnipresence, and he's just showing that he is present. Today we had some very special thing for which, we have come to Sundaram, and I was actually going away, but he has called me here to show me this, and that's the reason why I had to document it. And so I took it. Now, to me, that is enough. I didn't ask for the Jula to move, but Swami, in his infinite grace, in his boundless love, his limitless love, that day wanted me to have the strength, because it was a difficult thing for which we were going, a very difficult decision we had to take. And so both of us were a little emotional about it. And here he is, showing again and again, yes, come to my room, come here, come to the Jula, come here. That's a message to me. To me, it's a message, not because I'm special, but because of Swami's love. Because he pours his love out to all his devotees, he has done that. To me, if that is not Sathya Sai Baba living on, what is Sathya Sai Baba living on? I'm going to ask you, what is Sathya? What more do you want? How will he prove to you? Come on, tell me, how will he prove to you? For me, that is enough. Okay. Now, if I say this to some non-devotee, they'll say this guy has really gone off his rocker, because we thought he was a stable, doctor, scientist. Now he's talking all kinds of crap, and he's talking Jula moving. How is it even possible? He must have pushed it, or something you would have done. That's how they will talk. So there's no point in talking to a non-devotee. Talking to a devotee, are you surprised if I tell you that? Are you surprised? What's a great thing? We see it all the time. Whenever we have a bhajan, Swami's Jula moves. It's just a big thing for us. He's always there. So to a devotee, there is no need to tell. To a non-devotee, there's no need to tell. Anyway, it's for you. It's for you. He's reinforcing his faith, your faith, and also he's showing his love. Okay, and that is the basis of Sathya Sai Baba lives on. In every small part of your life, he will be there. He will be there again and again. And if you really want to read about more miracles, if you have not read my book, please read my book, because there, there are some stunning examples of miracles which, as a doctor, I could never believe that such things can happen. If I was a non-devotee, I would have said, no, this is not possible, And to that extent, there are miracles. And that's just one small book of one small devotee. I'm sure each one of you can write a book bigger than that. And Swami's Leelas are so many that books are not enough. The volumes and volumes and volumes you can write, and his Leelas never end. That is that unlimited love of Swami is what is Sathya Sai Baba lives on. Now, the other thing I want to tell you is, should you feel shy to share these miracles? That's the other thing which people say. Okay, it happened to you. Why do you have to go and tell it in a Samarpan lecture? People have asked me that. You're talking as if you're some big fellow, as if some Swami has given you some special blessing and all that. That was for you. Why do you have to go and talk about it somewhere? In fact, one senior devotee, whom I don't want to say who it is, actually shouted at me once. I went to, that's also there in my book. I had gone to Sri Sai Kumar's house, and I was talking another, like a Samarpan lecture to an AS officer's study circle, and I was just talking and saying it's all faith. If you have faith, mountains will move. Oceans will dry up, or anything can happen. When Swami is there anything that he cannot do? He can do anything. And in that same vein, I said, see this picture here. There's only one picture there where I was just standing in front of the picture. And I said, you know what? If you want, Vibhuti will form right now. If Swami wills it. Swami doesn't will it, nothing will happen. You can go and put Vibhuti and nothing will happen. But if Swami wills it, Vibhuti will come right now. I finished that, the talk there, the Samarpan there. And when I came out, that senior devotee to whom, in the organization also is senior, he started shouting at me. He said, Dr. Mohan, you shouldn't talk such things. You're a very senior person in the organization. How can you talk such things? I said, what did you talk wrong? No, you're saying in that picture, it will come. I said, it will come if Swami wills it, it will come. I said, I didn't say it will come. Okay. I said, if Swami wills it, it will come. Swami wills it, won't come. And I also said, in the same breath, I also said that if it doesn't come, it doesn't mean anything. This, in another person's house, I went and talked and it didn't come. It doesn't mean that person is not blessed or anything. Maybe he has some much bigger blessing from Swami. Only Swami knows the equation between him and thing. It's not that Vibhuti which makes you special. It's not the Vibhuti become, I am a Vibhuti blessed man. He is a non-Vibhuti blessed man. We can start dividing like that. But that's all silly. That is Swami. But talking about it among devotees to increase the faith of devotees, is it wrong? That is a question. Is it ethical or it is unethical? Well, I have the answer from Swami himself. I asked Swami directly, in person. I asked Swami, I want to ask you something. And he said, what is it? So I said, Swami, can I talk about these miracles? Some of them are personal. Some of them are, your blessings to devotees. It has happened to my patients. It has happened to so many things. Should I, or can I talk about this? He told me in Tamil, Dharalama pesu. Talk as much as you want, he said. So, and that was a speech I was giving in Prashant Nilayam in front of him. So I said, now can I talk that? He said, of course. Of course. What is wrong? Please talk, he said. So I have got direct clearance from Swami. So why should I be scared? When Swami has directly told me to do that, I, with all authority, I talk. And that's the reason why I'm bringing this. And the whole idea is to increase the faith of people. How is that 1% going to increase? When you tell me a story, my faith increase 1%. Maybe if I tell you something, your faith will increase 1%. So like that, we all collectively keep increasing 1%, 1%, 1%. We are all loving Swami more and increasing our faith. That is the whole idea of a satsang. Why are we meeting here in the first place? We're meeting here for that only. To hear his glory and to sing his glory, to be in bliss, to be in ecstasy, to be filled with Sai. That's the whole idea why we are all here. If you don't talk about no miracles, I cannot talk. That one I cannot talk. This one I cannot. That's what I'm saying. Break down all those rules. No rules. Somebody speaking with heart, let them speak. Let them not talk nonsense. Let them not blame someone. Let them not talk blasphemy. Let them not something else. Somebody's talking in his heart. Let him talk. It will inspire somebody. Maybe he's saying that for somebody else. It may not be for you. Somebody sitting there would ask some question to Swami that morning. That answer will be coming through this person. Once I remember in Prashant Nilayam, I was sitting and I was sitting with Brother Ramani, and I showed him, I had Bhagavad Gita with him, and I said, Ramani sir, see this. What is written in this line here? Okay. Now I'll turn some pages. And then I'll turn another page. Exact opposite is written there. So I said, how can in Bhagavad Gita this be written here and that be written there? He said, you ask Swami. So I said, yeah, if I get a chance, I'll ask Swami. Okay. That day, Swami came. He gave a discourse. Okay. And he said, in the Bhagavad Gita, in one place you will find something. Swami is telling. 1 hour, half an hour later in this discourse, he's telling, in the Bhagavad Gita, in one chapter you will find something, and another chapter you might find something which looks contradictory. Don't worry about it. That is correct for that chapter, and this is correct for this chapter. He answered my question. So immediately Ramani is sitting, satisfied? He asked me. I said, satisfied. He has heard it and he has said it. So for each one, it matters. Somebody would have thought, why is he saying like that? That's for me. That day, since I raised that, he has given that. Like that, for everyone, he'll be answering something or the other. Every line will be for somebody else. That is Swami. So never be shy to talk about it. And I just want to say one other, don't be shy also to talk about Prashant Nilayam or your Dharmashetra or any other place. Because I remember I made mistakes. Once I was going to Prashant Nilayam, I was wearing white and all that. And I met a patient of mine. She's an old actress, very old actress, Christian lady. So she asked me, where are you going, Dr. Mohan? So I told her I'm going to Prashant Nilayam. And she said, oh my God, I've heard that Baba is Jesus. I have not seen Jesus, but many people have told me that he is Jesus. So will you take me to him? At least let me see, Jesus come again as Baba. Can I see? I felt, how can I take this actress and go there? So I said, okay. And I never got back to her. And then Mahasamadhi happened. It was a few months before Mahasamadhi, maybe a year before. And then Mahasamadhi happened. When she came next, she actually shouted at me. She said, I asked you, Dr. Mohan, I asked you for one favor. If you had only arranged it, I could have seen. Now see, I have not seen Jesus. I couldn't see Baba also. It's all because of you. I asked you. I didn't know how to go. That's why I asked you. I felt very bad. I felt very, very bad. All I need to do is just tell Uni and say that she's coming, take her thing. I should have facilitated that. It was Swami who has asked me, not she. She had the desire, and Swami through me has asked me, and I failed Swami there. I completely failed Swami there. And how can I bring him back now to show it to her? So certain things Swami gives you only one opportunity. Don't lose that opportunity. Never be shy. Okay, if you believe in something and somebody is asking you like that, I still can't get over how I did that. And we should never make these mistakes, because remember, you are all Sai ambassadors. Now coming back to the Saguna form and the Nirguna form. Okay, we talked about Sathya Sai Baba. We have all, in his form, in which we have the, the Sundara Sai form, the Sai Ma form, to which we are all grown attached, or memories which will be there to our last breath. That's a Saguna form. But then he passed on to the Nirguna form. And what people think is, oh, now he's not there. So, I mean, when he was there, all those miracles and everything happened. Will it happen in the Nirguna form also? I would say the power multiplies manyfold. A million times the power multiplies. Why is that? Simple logic. When he has taken an avataric form and come down in human form, he naturally has to restrict his powers, because otherwise it'll burn up all of us. How can we, he gives us full divine. You saw when Krishna showed his real Rupam, what happened? We cannot even go near him. So for that, he has been restricting himself in this form so that he comes with human beings and then moves. Now there is no restriction. He is in his full glory now. That is a Nirguna form. Okay, so we are all blessed to have seen the avatar both in the Saguna form as well as in the Nirguna form, which not many people have been able to do. Have you seen Shirdi Baba in his, Saguna form? We are not seen. Only after that only we have had the opportunity to see. Whereas with Sathya Sai Baba, we have been able to see both, isn't it? So if we really believe that the Nirguna form is there and his powers have multiplied, it's not difficult for us to believe what Swami tells in so many speeches. I am there around you, below you, in front of you, behind you, inside you and outside you. Okay, that's what Swami has said. So many times he has told us that. Okay, so he is there now. He's in front of me, he's behind me, he's there in the screen with you, he's there everywhere. Okay, and just because we don't see him, it doesn't matter at all. So in that powerful form in which he is there now, he is not only more powerful, but he is there everywhere. And that's where, of course, the faith and the belief we come down to. Now, having said that, as members of an organization, which is probably the largest spiritual organization in the whole world, and also perhaps one of the largest, although we don't like to call ourselves a non-governmental organization. It's supposed to be a dirty word, so we won't use that. So let's stick to the largest spiritual organization in the whole world. We are still his chosen instruments, because not everybody is in the organization. Forget whether they are in, they are all India president or vice president or trustee or something. Leave all that, or office bearer or nothing. Even as his devotees, even assuming we don't have any number for devotee. Often people ask me, how many Sai devotees will be there in the world? I said, how can I say how many Sai devotees are there in the world? Swami has to say who is a Sai devotee. What is the definition of a Sai devotee? For that, you can't say I'm wearing a big badge, therefore I'm a Sai devotee. I have a pen of Swami, therefore I'm a Sai devotee. I wear a scarf, therefore I'm a Sai devotee. I read his book every day, therefore I'm a Sai devotee. I have full pictures everywhere, therefore I'm a Sai devotee. None of that makes you a Sai devotee. Unless Swami selects you and says he is my devotee, you are not his devotee at all. Okay. When that is the definition and the criteria, how can you say how many people are there who are his devotee? We have no numbers at all. All we can say is so many people in the organization we have, so many people in this we have. Leave that. Even if you count that, how many people are there? A few million people out of 7.5 billion people in the world. So we are still his chosen few. We are handpicked by him, cherry-picked by him. Okay, we are handpicked by him. And therefore, we are all blessed people, no doubt about it. It's not by accident that it happened. It happened by design. It happened because of Swami's grace. It happened because he willed it. And that is why we are all his devotees. And having come there and having been part of the mission, having been selected as Sai ambassadors, as we should all call ourselves, we are truly his ambassadors, then what is our responsibility? First responsibility is the organization, the trusts do so much of work. In fact, Nimish Bhai has been trying to collect just the medical alone, what is going on. It's an unending task, in every city, every village, everything, every Sai Kripa, everything, every mobile camp, everything you try to collect all that and put, it's mind-boggling, I can tell you. And that's just medical. Okay, like this can go on and on and on and on. It's like an ocean. You do not even know what all we are doing. It is so big. Okay, so my thing is, why you want to reinvent this? This all started during Swami's time, no? Today you mentioned the Bal Vikas that you had. It's a beautiful program. Very few organizations have such a beautiful program. Why don't you build it? You mentioned that millions are already there, lakhs are already there. Why don't you add one more zero to it? Why don't you bring some more and maintain the quality? It's not just numbers, but maintain the quality. Increase the faith. Bring in more children. They are the already Swarna Yuga started. These children and these youth will come and they will really take the Swarna Yoga to the next level with Swami's grace. Okay, and the world will become a different place. Mention was made that all your alumni sitting in different places. You are all the stars. You are all representing Swami in different organizations. What if there were another, multiply that by another 1,000 people, or into 1,000 you multiply, into 1 lakh you multiply. You can imagine how many good people are there in the world heading all these big corporations, industries, this, that, hospitals, NGOs, government, politicians. Everybody's high devotee. You can imagine where the world will go. So for that, we have to build on water. We don't have to recreate. We'll start one more, Bal Vikas program. We'll start one more, completely different one. Why? Just build on what you're doing. What has been doing is really great. Increase the numbers, increase the faith, increase number of people. That itself, if you do, is good. But having said that, today we are kind of, in all over the world, we have, different places. There must be one central place where everybody must finally come back to that place. And that place is no doubt Prashanthi Nilayam. Because Swami was born there, Swami lived there, Swami, grew up there, Swami gave his discourses there, Swami built the organizations there, Swami built the trusts there, Swami promised his mother he will never leave that place. Swami, built hospitals there. Swami built schools there. He built the temple of learning there. He built the temple of healing there. Everything Swami did there. Finally, he rested there also. So everything connected with Swami, the main tree is still Prashanthi Nilayam only. There is no doubt about it. There's no Prashanthi Nilayam without Swami. There's no Swami without Prashanthi Nilayam. So for us, you say, no, I am sitting in, Timbuktu and I am the big boss there. And so I'm running my little empire here, but I'm no connection with that. There's no need for me. That's wrong. That's wrong. As far as I know, the Swami that we know, everything has to come together. No doubt those branches may be very beautiful. They may be producing beautiful fruits. They may be producing beautiful flowers. They may be the glory of this big tree, maybe, in so many places, but the tree is still the tree. It is still the trunk. It still has the branches. It still has a root. It still is firmly fixed in Prashanthi Nilayam. Okay. And so whatever we do, we have to support Prashanthi Nilayam. As far as we live, as far as our last breath is there, whatever Swami has started there, keep on, let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. What you have done is only a drop in the ocean. So much more still remains to be done. And therefore, in whatever way you want to support, find out in what way you can support and support it. There's no one fixed thing. No, only this you have to do. No, you decide what you want to do, but support it. As a mother tree has to be supported, you have to foster it, you have to protect it, and you have to help it to grow, because their growth is very essential. Think about Swami. One day you would have started one small school. From there he builds a college. From there he builds a university. Swami never stopped. No, Swami never said, I've done enough. No, that's enough. No, he starts a small clinic. He starts a general hospital, then he starts a super specialty clinic, super specialty hospital, then he starts one in Whitefield, then he starts one somewhere else. He goes on and on and on. Then he starts a water project, then he starts something else. Swami has never rested. Swami has always been giving more and more and more of himself. Today, if we are running small bits of his divine mission, we also have to think, how can we make this grow a little bit more? How can we take it to the next place? I keep this, I keep getting this refrain all the time. But this was not there in Swami's time. So why it should be done? Many things were not there in Swami's time itself when he did. No, he didn't have the super specialty hospital. Before that, how did he start that? One day he announced, this is good for the people, and therefore I'm starting that. Okay. If we have the wherewithal to do something more, let's do it. If we don't, at least continue what you're doing and build on it. Let the base grow stronger. Let it all go on. Whatever is there in his time, at least that you keep it going. If you're able to add on something new and make it good, do that. Change is also essential, but that change only if it is really needed and it's going to help, then that change must be done. Change for change's sake is not good. So if you think that change is going to help Swami's mission, yes, let's take his blessing and then do that. At Prashant Nilayam itself, being a member of the Central Trust, I would also like to say that we do have a grand vision. So we have spent quite a lot of time trying to draw up a vision plan, and in that vision plan, of course, the existing things to continue, whether it's a hospital or the university or the schools or whatever, to continue, needless to say, it is there. But we also know that there are many deficiencies. The Sevadals need better place to live. We need better accommodation. We need lifts in some places. Some of the buildings are run down. Some of the buildings have to be broken down and built again. Inside itself, we are building a huge, as you know, a big auditorium, a convention center, which means that the whole world can come there. Sai devotees can come and have simultaneous sessions on Swami, can go on, can have conferences, national, international. That should be ready quite soon. A media center has come up. The township was getting ready to get planned when COVID hit. Probably another year we'll have to lie a little low, but there are plans to beautify the road, to add new statues, to grow more trees. In fact, lakhs and lakhs of trees are being grown. I know the organization is also doing that. Ultimately, why are we doing all this? We have to make Prashanthi Nilayam, Puttaparthi, the spiritual capital of the whole world. There is no other organization which is so broad in its thinking. Vatican will only think of Catholic thing. In Mecca, only Allah and this thing. You don't have a place where everybody can come in and feel at home. That was Swami's mission, and that was Swami's dream, and that was Swami's Swaradharma symbol, and that was Swami's contribution, that there is universal brotherhood and fatherhood of God. And that particular thing, I don't see many organizations having it. I'm not saying we're the only one, but there are not too many which does it. And since we have from the beginning created that all faiths are equal, we sing, from all religions, we do sing songs. We invite everybody else to come in. We have interfaith, conferences, which Nimish Bhai organized some time ago. Wonderful, wonderful. Very few places in the world. We still talk about Swami Vivekananda, what he did, in the Parliament of Religions. Something like that only happened in Prashanthi Nilayam when we did that. So let us, continue such activities which bring everybody together rather than divide everybody, because that is what Swami would have wanted. Everybody coming together. And that is where, again, I repeat, we are all Sai ambassadors. We may have a small role. We may have a big role. Whatever that role that is given to us, let us fulfill it. That will be the greatest thing that we can do for all that Swami has done for us. If we can give that in return, that this is my small little contribution as a Sai ambassador. Okay. For that, we also have to fight our egos, because what happens is that as human beings, we all have our egos. I am the big boss. I am this. I am that. You are not this. I am this. This one. You listen to me. I listen to you. Who's listening to who? We're doing this for Swami. Is it listening to me and listening to you? And what does it matter? Tomorrow we may get COVID and we die. Who are you going to listen to, and so on? So our life is short. So let us, see that peace. Let us all come together. The togetherness is what is important. Everybody should come together with only one motive, and that motive is to continue Swami's mission. You want me to go? I'll go. No problem. And I go happily, not sad and sour and dejected. No. You don't want me there? Somebody else comes. Thank you, sir. I go. But you come. You do. You continue the work. I'll hand over the baton to you. You take over, and then you run it. Now. In fact, I should go, because only then somebody else should come. That should be the spirit. Not to hang on to a post or to hang on for something that we are doing, but to work for Swami. At the same time, we have to train people and bring them up. Those who are seniors have been there. It's our duty to bring them up. And that is where I think the Sai alumni should play a very big role. I think we are the best brains in the Sai family, people who understand Swami's mission best in the alumni. I find that many of you are not yet involved. As the All India President was saying at the start of this meeting, if you only bring all of you together, imagine where the Swarna Yoga will go, where Swami's mission will go. So as alumni, you all have a big role and responsibility to do this. Now, I've spoken a lot, and I've given you a general ideas. I talked about the underlying theme being that Sathya Sai Baba lives on. And again, to come back to that particular theme in the post-Samadhi period, when many devotees even now find it difficult to come to terms, they'll say, with all that, it's fine. After I've talked to them for 1 hour, they'll say, all that is fine, but I still miss his touch. I still miss his smile. I still miss his thing. I said, what can I do? You pray to Swami. Probably he'll come in flesh and blood and then, be with you. If that's your real urge to see him, even that he will satisfy for you. Okay. Hasn't other avatars come in person and shown? If that's what you really want from your heart, you pray, and that also he will come. He will come and show you his form again. Okay. And allow you to touch him. Okay. If you really want, but for that, you have to do a lot of penances and a lot of things. If that's what you really want, go ahead. But before I conclude, I thought I will go back to that Nirguna form and repeat a prayer, which, I find it very nice. And for group chanting also, this prayer is very good. And so in all my discourses now, all my speeches, satsangs, I say this prayer. I don't know from where I picked it up, but it's very powerful. And therefore, I want all of you to repeat this after me. It relates to Nirguna, and it is only to strengthen, that 1% I talked about. I hope with this one prayer, if you say it every day, that not 1%, but 5% will increase every day. And that's my hope and prayer. And so from that angle, I would like all of you to kindly repeat after me. And after that, we'll stop. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Okay, so let's start. Om Sai Ram. The light of Sai surrounds me. You can say it out loud. It may be muted, but you can say it out loud. The love of Sai enfolds me. The grace of Sai protects me. The presence of Sai watches over me. The mind of Sai guides me. The life of Sai flows through me. The laws of Sai direct me. The power of Sai abides within me. The joy of Sai uplifts me. The strength of Sai renews me. The beauty of Sai inspires me. And the last one, you have to say it 3 times. I'll also say it 3 times. The formless Sai is within me. The formless Sai is within me. The formless Sai is within me. Thank you all for inviting me to this wonderful satsang. I have enjoyed talking to all of you, even seeing all the Sai brothers and sisters who are so devoted to Swami that you continue again and again these satsangs every time when Swami must be there with you during these satsangs. Let us all offer our most loving and reverential pranams to the divine lotus feet of our Lord and Master, our Sai Ma, and offer our Koti pranams to him. Jai Sai Ram.
Loving Sairams, Dr. Mohan, it has been a very different kind of a session. I think the way that we begin the year, precisely lot of thoughts for rumination, lot of thoughts for internalization, lot of thoughts for understanding where are we. I think the time is very right. I mean, in the sense, beginning of the year when we always are inspired to look for resolutions and how do we kind of contribute more, to everything that we do. I think this talk has come at the right time to guide and make us think within, in terms of how kind of we can contribute more and more to the Sai mission as the large Sai family that we are today. But a lot of attendees are also from abroad, so it's a wonderful to kind of pass on this message across the world. And this also is being recorded, so it will be available on the YouTube for many people to kind of watch it, maybe watch it second time, third time, to understand and connect with our own internal self. And I think one important aspect which you beautifully mentioned, I think very rarely, I think this is mentioned anytime, is love is the basis of faith. Swami has mentioned, but I think the way beautifully you spoke about, because always there is a question mark, faith or experience. Nobody talks about love. But today you actually took one step even above before that and say that love is the basis of faith. And from faith, obviously, we derive the experience. And I think the beautiful analogy which Swami also always mentions is about love between mother and the child. The child which has come from the mother, where the love is the basis, and the child knows it is the mother who will feed me. So that is the faith. And eventually the experience is the mother does feed the child, and the entire circle is complete. So it is very important, the message of love, that we need to focus on having more and more loving Swami that we carry today among all of us. And through love, obviously, faith will come. And through faith, obviously, the experience will come. And that is how Swami will live through each one of us, supporting each other as one Swami, as a entire world will become one Swami, as today what we are looking forward to. So I think it's a wonderful session. A lot of thoughts to provoke within ourselves and look at how kind of we can improvise our sadhana and our own contribution to the society. Because all the while we have heard experiences, all the while we have got entertained by the experiences, but now is the time that we need to look at what do we do with those experiences, how do we share that love which Bhagawan has given to us. It's time that we have to contribute to the world through the love, through the message, and through those beautiful experiences, and build that faith within ourselves and others as well. So wonderful session. I think heartfelt gratitude to Swami for giving us this opportunity to listen to you at the beginning of the calendar year, and heartfelt gratitude to you as well, sir, for sharing your time. I know you have a very busy schedule, but despite that, you agreed at a short notice, and you came up to share this wonderful thought with all of us. And there are few questions, if I can take.
Sure.
Before question, I think let me tell the audience as well. There was an important point which Dr. Mohan was keen to share. I think this is for a lot of youngsters who may be on the call, in terms of how do we look at from the practical point of view, when we kind of live Swami's message. So maybe before I take a few questions, Dr. Mohan, you may like to share your thoughts on that aspect.
So one of the things which confuses youngsters is it okay to make money? Is it okay for me to run an industry and become rich? Is it okay for me to be ambitious? Is it okay for me to on that line? So we're talking about the materialistic world, and so am I going away from Swami's path when I keep on? I have an industry and now I'm building that and making it bigger and bigger and so on. Am I doing something right, or am I doing something wrong? As a Sai devotee, should I cut down on all my thing and then become sannyasi type, or what should I actually do? Now, Swami has put it very beautifully. He said there should be a ceiling on desires. So if that desire of yours is just as a desire, and you're just going to get more and more and more and more, ultimately we'll become no more, because you'll kill yourself in that particular that you heard the story about how much land does a man need, and you keep more and more and more, and you're supposed to come back before sunset, and he couldn't come back and he fell dead, because if you don't reach the starting point, you'll die. It's a very important moral in that particular short story that we read. So that's it. So if you're going to just aim to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, there is a danger that you will, fall somewhere and you will fall short, and that might become your only thing that you want in life, and Swami will be forgotten on the way for sure. But that does not mean that you should not be ambitious. That think about what Swami did. See, Swami started a small general hospital. From there, he had the grandest vision of building a, the big super specialty hospital. How many architects he met before he selected the final one? He didn't take the first one and say, okay, no. He is such a perfectionist that he went on and on. No, not this, not this, not this, not this. Yeah, that's the one I want. So Swami has been so selective. Swami has been, Swami's grand ideas which came, giving water to people, across 4 states. He brings in 4. I was there in Chennai when Swami came last, and the 4 different governments, 4 different parties, 4 different states, they don't even talk to each other, and all sitting on the dais with Swami and then giving water from one state to another, which no government has succeeded. Right from the British days, nobody succeeded. No prime minister succeeded. Nobody succeeded. And here is Swami who is sitting there and quietly giving water from one state to another state. Now, those are grand ideas of Swami, but the underlying basis was not for Swami to say, I did all this, but to help humanity. So in the process of building that grand thing that you're building, if you're going to serve more and more people, if you're able to, now you're serving 50 people, but you can now serve 5,000 people, you can employ 5,000 people. And that becomes one of the motive for you, that in the process, I'm giving this, and that is one particular thing. And second is remain grounded always, never forget Swami. And number 3, bring Swami into your work. Give everything to him, Samarpanam, complete, surrender to him. If you do that, then there is no limit. Otherwise, there can be no, no Ambani, no this one, no Reliance, no Venu Srinivasan. Nobody can be there because everybody should run only one small, nobody can think big or nobody. So look at Bill Gates. He makes so much of money in one side, and then he has a Gates Foundation on the other side, where he's giving. On one side, he's making money, on the other side, he's giving. So somebody asked him, are you schizophrenic? You're giving on one side, taking on another side. You're so strict there, and you're so strict here also, on both. He said, no, to give, I need money. So there I'm running it as a business. So a business is a business. Here's a charity. Charity has to be run like a charity. Business has to be run like a business. Okay. And finally, ethics. So whatever you do, you will not do certain things. You will not bend the rules. You will not break your ethics. Your code of ethics, you will not break. Okay. Nowhere in the Bhagavad Gita, nowhere in the Quran, nowhere in the Bible, it's mentioned that you should not become rich. Okay. You remain poor. Is it written anywhere? Show me where it's written. It's not written. So it's not a crime to get money, but do it in an ethical way. Become richer and richer, no problem, but also give back to society, because it is that society which has made you rich. Did you become rich by yourself? The society gave you whatever it is. If you produce a product, they bought that product. If you are a doctor, they paid you for it and you became it. If you are a lawyer, all your clients paid for you. Whichever profession you took, whatever you did, somebody has paid for it and made you rich. You didn't make it all. You didn't milk all the money. So therefore you did it. Therefore, from the very beginning, from day one, I will give back to society. So if today I'm a millionaire, I will be able to give some. Tomorrow, if I'm a billionaire, I'll be able to give more to society. And in Swami's name, remembering Swami as devotee and earning it in an ethical way, and therefore giving it back to the society from which it came. I don't own anything. For me, it is giving back to society. If Swami wills it, I will keep on growing. If Swami says no, I will stop there also. I have asked Swami so many times, Swami, shall I start one more branch, or what do you say? Yes, please grow. He has told me that. I have directly asked Swami all this. And that's why with confidence, I'm able to say that Swami has never said, no, that's enough for you. But if you, make that your mission, and then you're forgetting Swami completely, then you will meet your doom. Somewhere you'll meet your doom, because you'll make wrong steps. You'll do something, you'll cut corners, your ethics will go, something will go, and you'll finally get caught. Somewhere you'll do something wrong and you'll do. So that's a practical thing which people ask me. Can I make money? Can I grow my thing? Is it bad to earn money? Is it to do that? Nothing. But Swami first. The whole purpose is that you have, and then at some point, If you are satisfied, you can say, yes, now I'm contented. At any point, you must be able to stop. It shouldn't be like a monster which is eating you up. You say, okay, I have to stop here, I'll stop here. I'm contented. But if I have an opportunity to grow and Swami wants me to grow, I will grow. Swami says no, I'll think. I'm a Swami's devotee. Whatever he says, I will do. Okay. So that way, if you take it, it becomes these questions which come up to youngsters will automatically get resolved.
Very nice. I think very practical tips, and I think it answers not just youth. I think a lot of people, professionals, or who are also on the call. I think these tips are very straight, practical spirituality, which we can see for us to implement. And I think lot of as we are reading the chat panel, a lot of questions are also getting answered. People had hidden questions, and I think Swami through you is answering the questions today.
Honestly, I didn't see the chat box.
So I think there are one-to-one also which are coming up. So I think this is actually practically Sai Baba lives on among all of us. We are helping each other to answer our questions and seeking help. And but Swami is sitting in you, Swami is sitting in all of us, is kind of connecting together to have a more clarity in everything that we do. Just a couple of questions before we end. There's one very interesting question on the chat is, can you please share any experience where you have experience in the quotes, my delays are not my denials. In light of the present pandemic situation where people could be losing patience and faith, I'm sure it would boost everyone's faith. So request is there to share any experience where delays are not denials.
I'll give you a practical example which actually happened. Okay. So we had decided to, branch out from our state and, enter to one more state. And we are just trying whether if we leave Tamil Nadu, we are quite well known. But if we go to another state, will it be successful? And as luck would have it, Hyderabad was chosen as the first state where we would go. So I was actually in Prashant Nilayam, and we had already found a place and we were just getting ready for that. And in Prashant Nilayam, few devotees from Hyderabad were there. And when I told them, I was very excitedly telling them, we might be coming to Hyderabad. They completely discouraged me. And they said, no, Hyderabad and all, you should never come. You will never do well there. Even now, it's not too late. Just say no and close it. You are not going to do well there. They kind of almost cursed me. I was completely down because I already, agreed to go and so on. That day, I got an opportunity to talk to Swami. He called me for something, in the morning session, you don't normally, in Sai Baba, he doesn't call people. That day, I don't know what happened. He called. He called us. Immediately I went. He said, you want to ask something here? I said, Swami, I just wanted to ask you this Hyderabad, we were thinking, very good, it will succeed. Go ahead, he said. I said, Swami, I said yes, so we'll go ahead with it. So we started our Hyderabad branch. It started doing badly, okay? And loss after loss after loss after loss. And, not only after 3 years, we are doing so badly at the end of 3 years, we're wondering whether to close down or not. When the owner, put all kinds of allegations against us, saying we're not paying rent, we are not paying something, court case, something, we won the court case because we were paying. Finally, I told him, then he came and fell at my feet. I want my building back. That's why I did all this. He told me in the beginning, why are you saying I didn't pay your rent? When I paid rent every time, I got all the receipts, Then finally I said, okay, you want me to go? I'll go. Then at that particular time, I told, Shastri, who was my doctor there, he was with me for, he's now 30 years has been with me. He's my next in command. So, and it's his place. So I sent him there. So I told Shastri, you know what, Swami told me everything will happen, but actually it's not happening. And, we are doing very badly and losses are accumulated. Crores I have lost now. What do I do? Then he said, sir, you take a call. If you want me to come back to Chennai, I'll come. Close down everything and we'll come. So I said, yeah, Swami would have said like that. Probably you want me to go through this karma or something. So maybe that's the reason why Swami said like that. So anyway, I have nothing. Swami said the thing, it's okay, fine. That day, so it was in December. Okay. So I told Dr. Shastri, March 31st, we'll take a call. Okay. So March 31st, we will, if you're not doing badly for the next 3 months, January, February, March, we'll close down, you come back. And then we'll come back to Chennai. That means you're not destined to go to other places and all. That maybe, Swami want to teach me that way maybe. So it's okay. I have nothing, So that night, I sat and prayed in the puja room, and I told him, Swami, I'm not at all upset. I'm not angry. I'm not. If you think that this has to close down, so be it. I'm ready. I'll come back, and I don't mind losses. This, that. It's over. But I can't go on having losses, so that's over. But you told me to go ahead, and you told me it will do well. Maybe in jest you said it. Maybe it may not be correct also. But if I am to do well, and if you are to do well in Hyderabad, now's the time. Because now if you don't, next 3 months, there's no way I can continue there forever, because I just don't have the money. I don't have money to market. I don't have anything. So I'll have to come back. So you take the choice. If you want me to continue, you can easily turn it on. If you don't want me to continue, I'll just pack up and come. I will not have any remorse or anything regret. It's an experiment which failed. It's okay, no problem, I said. But today is a kind of deciding day, and you'll have to, help me, at least give me the clarity. Either way, how it goes, I know what you want. And so that's fine with me. Either way, I'm fully prepared both ways. I said. You won't believe it. From the next 1 week onwards, patients started flowing in. We did nothing, not even one ad, not even one announcement, not even one thing, nothing we did. Where we were getting 2 patients, 3 patients, 4 patients, suddenly it became 8, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. By March 31st, we broke even and became profitable. If you ask me how did it happen, nothing, no explanation for me. Absolutely no explanation. Now you may ask, Swami's, denial, and it exactly fits in with what you asked. It's only a delay. It is not a denial. It happened, Now, why did he make that happen? I still don't know. Maybe I didn't reach out to him earlier. Maybe I thought it's all my thing, and he was just showing me that, tell me when you will come to me. You asked me once. After that, you never come back, and you thought you'll do it all by yourself. And I said that I meant that if I am there with you, it will happen. That you never, you forgot that part. Today you've come to me, all right. So now I'll keep up my promise to you. That's how I interpreted it. It could have been like that. Today we have 7 branches in Hyderabad. So what Swami had said was absolutely correct. And what those people told me there was absolutely wrong. And that particular day of indecision in Prashanthi Nilayam, sitting there in Sai Kulwant Hall, in one word he told me, it will do very well. Go, finished, over. And it's over. But there's a lot of delay, 4 years of burning and this and that and everything. But it's only a delay, it was not a denial. Okay. Now, I've also failed in Muscat. I went there, but I didn't ask Swami directly, but it's also there in my book. I failed miserably in Muscat and then came back, and then so I closed. That's the only foreign center I had, and it burnt my fingers very badly. But in my new book, which I'm writing, not on Swami, but I've written my autobiography. It's getting published in 4 weeks' time. It's called Making Excellence a Habit. So it's being published by Penguin. And the last 2 chapters I've mentioned Swami. And this I didn't want to make it a Swami book, because the first one is a Sai book. The second one was a general book about general living and tips for youngsters and things like that. My life learnings. So there also I've kind of mentioned it, saying that was the Muscat experience a total failure? To me. No, I learned so much. I learned about the Middle East. I learned about practice there. I went and practiced there. I got a license to practice there. I learned so much about the conditions there, which has enriched me. I might have lost some money, but that experience which I had running there, I don't think is a waste of time at all. Okay, so I think like that. Sometimes there are denials. Sometimes there may be some center to come up later on. Which time was not right, probably. So Swami's delays are never his denials. And even if you don't, one of the senior Sai devotees taught me this, that if you get what you want, it's a great blessing from Swami. If you don't get what you want, it's a greater blessing from Swami. Because you should not have been going the wrong path, and that's why he has cut you at the right point. And you should thank him for that, But for that, you have to have deep faith. Because the moment you don't get it, Swami didn't do this for me. I prayed so much to him, but he didn't do that for me. By not doing it, he has done you a much bigger favor than you're doing it. You, in your stupidity, you went and asked for something, which Swami has guided you. It's there in, Satyaritram, those examples of Shirdi Baba telling that, the rich businessman not to get into, certain businesses. and how he actually blamed Shirdi Baba, saying, see, he doesn't want me to prosper, that's why he's doing. And finally, what all Shirdi Baba had said had come true. And so, like that, I think it's faith. Ultimately, everything boils down to faith. That's what it is.
And absolutely. So faith is a message that we carry today home very clearly. And love is the basis of faith.
Correct.
Absolutely. Great. It was absolutely fantastic session with a lot of insights. Before we end, may I request our All India President, Shri Nimesh Pandya, to share his thoughts for a couple of minutes or so.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohan. It's been a pleasure listening to you always. I've heard you so many times, but every time it's a great experience and it's a new high listening to you. What I really want to say, only a few things, that I really believe that when Bhagawan said that he wanted each one of us to be a shining example and an inspiration of his message, I think I always look up to Dr. Mohan as a great example of that expectation of Bhagawan. Because not because it is Dr. Mohan, but imagine a personality which has so much that the material world has given in terms of name, fame, money, but at the same time to be bold enough to attribute everything to divinity is a rare call. I have seen many, many great devotees who achieve many great things, but they shy away from giving credit to Bhagawan. And I think that kudos must go to Dr. Mohan in every way. In my years that I have interacted with him and known him, my awe and respect for him goes up only because of this great humility and this great devotion to Bhagavan, which I think is what is expected out of every person, each one of us. For all of us, it's a great learning experience that we may achieve so much in life. All that is because of Bhagavan. At the same time, to be humble enough to give credit to Bhagavan, I think that is the hallmark of a great devotee. And I think that's why we are all in awe of you, Dr. Mohan. We are inspired, and I wish that all of us who've been listening to you here today draw that aspect of your persona to see that that transforms our lives also as a great inspiration of Bhagavan, message in action. Thank you once again, and it's been a pleasure listening. Thank you, Doctor.
Sai Ram, thank you for the kind words.
Sai Ram. So I think after this wonderful session, let's end with Samasta Loka and offer the session at Bhagavan's lotus feet.
समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। साई राम।